Today topic is on Playwright. So today topic is on Playwright. So basically, I will focus on the core concept. As I mentioned, I will focus on the core concept of the Playwright. How we can set up the Playwright. What's its pros and cons. What are the feature of the Playwright that make it a game changer compared to other traditional tools. Then I will showcase how we can write the script in Playwright. Not in detail because I have 1 hour time, but yeah, definitely I will come with some more session next month, and we can do there like framework setup in detail, and how to create the basically framework for a enterprise level, or basically for a new project actually, right? And then I will also explain about some debugging strategy, how we can debug actually in Playwright, and also I will explain some of the best practices. Okay, so without any ado, let move to the next slide. So this is myself, Kailash Pathak. So I'm working in Thipler Global. It's a US based company, and I'm working from this company from last 14 years. And I am Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. I got this award few days back because of my contribution to the community, you can say. Or as you know, I have written the one book on Playwright, and it available in the Amazon.com or even in other location of the Amazon. So so Microsoft just awarded me this award actually, right? And apart from that, I love to write the blogs, and I'm writing the blog from last 2 to 3 years. And writing the blog actually helped me in basically in writing my book actually, because when you're writing the book, basically you have to make yourself practice, right? So you have to make yourself like you have a writing capability. You can sit and you can think about the topics, and then you can write. So I was working in writing the blog from last 4 year, and that helped me in writing my book in Playwright. So my book is launched in 13th of December last year. Okay. So this is the content that I'm going to cover in my today's session. Basically, I will give some of the overview of the Playwright. So initially there's some theoretical part. So please cooperate with me. Then I will explain some of the example, some best practices, we can debug how we can set up the Playwright and all, right? So I will give the overview of the Playwright, then how we can write the test in Playwright, and then how can we write the effective test case in Playwright, and finally I will explain some of the debugging strategy, how we can debug in the Playwright, what are their features that can help, because Playwright have a good capability in the debugging. So I will showcase you, and in the last I will showcase you some of their latest feature that they have launched. Apart from that, I will also explain some of the best practices. Okay. So Playwright is open source, first of all. So when I say open source, from writing the test case, development to move to our code to the CI/CD pipeline to the production, or you can say in the stage environment, it's totally free actually, right? Because it support GitHub Action, right? So it's a totally open source. It provide all the things basically. Right, you have write your code, push into the Git, and then deploy into the your stage environment, dev environment using GitHub Action. GitHub Action they provide by default. When you install the Playwright, GitHub Action come as a default, where you can mention all the steps, and you can do the configuration, and you can write your test cases, so they can run into the CI/CD pipeline. Playwright launched into the market in 2020. So normally Playwright will compare with the Cypress, because Cypress launched almost 10 years back. It's around 2015. And now what I am seeing last 2 to 3 years, it's going also popular. And but yes, Playwright is slowly picking up the market. And the good thing about Playwright, if you compare Playwright with the Cypress, normally because Playwright compare with the Cypress. So one of the thing in the Cypress was that Cypress support only the TypeScript and JavaScript, right? You can write your test cases in Cypress with TypeScript and JavaScript only. But
Worked so hard. That's it.
okay, but in Playwright you can write your test cases in the multiple language like TypeScript, JavaScript, C Sharp, Java, and Python. That is the plus point basically. So if suppose someone that the good thing is, if suppose you are coming from the Selenium background, so normally what I see in my career, normally people come Selenium Java more actually, right? It doesn't mean people not doing Selenium with C Sharp or Python, but what I see the trend actually Selenium with the Java is more. So the challenge was there in the Cypress actually because Cypress with only JavaScript, TypeScript. So if I am a Java guy, so try to basically I try to basically do something related that where we have the Java as a language, right? But Playwright have that flavor. So if you are from the suppose coming from the Selenium background, you can do here easily I mean you can do, and you know the Java in advance or Python or C Sharp, you can do the automation here. NPM trend. So you can see from this graph actually. So Playwright is picking the market slowly. If I compare last 6 to 8 months, Cyprus was on the top, but slowly now you can see from the graph also, Playwright is picking the market, and this is the trend from last 1 year. We can see Cyprus, Playwright, and Selenium WebDriver comparison here, but it doesn't mean if this graph, but it doesn't mean if the graph is saying Playwright is in top, people not using Selenium, people not using Cypress, people still using Cypress, people still using Selenium, but yes, the NPM trend say Playwright is basically gaining the popularity more compared to the other tools. And people start doing the automation. And what I see at least from last 1 year, even in my company, the new projects that are coming actually, they are normally coming in Cypress or Playwright actually. Client want to do the automation in Cypress. That might be one of the reason because now most of the application is JS based framework, the JS based application that support Next, Vue.js or Next.js or you can say React. That is also one of the reason. But yeah, what I am seeing, the new project that are starting normally they are in Cypress or Playwright actually. Playwright architecture. So this is the Playwright architecture. So if you see, so I have divided into the three part. Left side, middle part, and this screenshot I have taken from the Google. I'm in the Google. So credit go to this program bus. So in the left side, you can see this is the client library. So all the client library, like if you have written your test case in JavaScript, Java, Python. So it depend upon in which language you are written your test case, right? In the middle, we have a WebSocket connection. When we say WebSocket connection, the different what is by WebSocket connection? It's a bidirectional actually. When I say bidirectional, so suppose I am writing some script here and it will go to the server and it will execute and it will come back to the client. My connection still remain established actually. That is the problem in other tool actually. When I send one command, suppose I say, okay, click on this button is clicked, then my connection is terminated actually. That was the problem in the traditional tool, but here in the Playwright, they solve this by, they are supporting the WebSocket protocol, which is bidirectional, where until unless either one of the party, either client or server say, okay, I want to now disconnect, until unless the connection will remain established. So that help to make our test case faster execution or make the test case less flaky. That is one of the reason of the less flakiness. And personally, I say Playwright is faster compared to the Cypress that I personally see. It might be possible in some of the cases, might be possible, but most of the cases what I see, Playwright is very fast compared to the Cypress and Selenium, right? This is the middle section I explained here, WebSocket connection. In the right side is a server. What the server do? Because we require, if I want to click on some of the button or something, I require the browser, right? So to interact with the browser, it use CDP. See, what is CDP? CDP is the Chrome Dev Protocol actually. For Chromium browser, it use CDP, and same for Firefox and WebKit, it use similar type of protocol, CDP, right? So once the connection is established, then it will my command. So here, whatever I have written, suppose I have written here like I want to log in into the application, whatever the and that command will go into the form of JSON form, JSON actually. All the command it in the JSON. It will, with the help of WebSocket connection, it will go to here server. Server say, oh, okay, the command I got the command, and people and the guy want to launch the Chrome browser and want to execute the test cases, right? So whatever I have written, it go here, it will communicate with the browser, and as per the instruction that I have given in my test case, like I want to run my test case in Chrome, so it will launch the browser Chrome and it will execute my test cases. I hope I'm not doing fast. I hope.
No, all good. I think going good, Kailash.
Okay, okay. Thank you, man. Now come to the Playwright feature. So as I mentioned, Playwright is actually it has a many game changing feature actually. So cross browser. So one of the guy actually just asking me the question like language and cross browser. So it supports cross browser. So you can do cross browser testing with the help of Chrome, WebKit, and Firefox. Cross platform, Mac, Linux, Windows, it support. Cross language, it support, as I mentioned already, it support TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, .NET, and Java. So you can write your test case in any of the language. And if you, as I mentioned, if you from the Selenium background, so in Selenium it support most of the languages. So if you coming from the Selenium, it's easy. It's an easy tool for you actually. Suppose if you have automated in Java, then you can easily come here and easily you can start automation because you already know Java or Python or .NET, right? Playwright Inspector. This is one of the great feature of the Playwright actually. I will showcase all the demo one by one. Tracer view is just kind for the debugging purpose. So tracer view, so they have a debugging Playwright believe on the live debugging actually. They say why we depend upon the video and screenshot. Why not we do the live debugging? So tracer review one of the feature of the Playwright where you can see every second where what happening with my application, it clicking, it entering the data, after entering what happened, after when I click on the what happened, every millisecond you can see in the tracer view. UI mode is another feature here they have launched few days, I think in few months back. So in UI mode you can run your test cases in the UI basically, where you can see the test case running in the UI actually. How Playwright work under the hood, though already I explained, but so first step is the initialization. So when we write any of our test case either in Java or Python, right? So server download or use the pre-installed browser binary. So yeah, one more thing I want to just add here. In Playwright, basically when I will show you, in Playwright, when you install the Playwright, it will install the binary of Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit, right? So it has its own browser actually, right? So it not depend upon your browser that are installed in your system. If in your system there is no browser, it will not matter for the Playwright. He will install its binary itself actually, right? So this is the first step. In the second step, once it's done, then I have written some of the command here, like I want to logged in, and after logged in I want to see something in the dashboard. These are the commands that will go in the form of JSON actually, right? There is a JSON where we have every command in this. And once this command is done, the next step is basically browser interaction. It will, the command, all the command that we have written, it will interact with the browser, with the DOM, with the help of CDP, as I mentioned, Chrome Dev Protocol, right? And once the browser interaction done, whatever the command I have given, they are completed. Now it result back to the client actually. So finally the result handling. Why Playwright is the future? Cross-browser support, I already mentioned, right? Built they have a inbuilt debugging actually. They do not believe on the actually like do the basically put the put the debugger and do the debugging. You can do definitely, but they have their own inbuilt debugging. They'll help to basically that include the screenshot, network log, DOM snapshot, everything is there. So you can see, I will show you. So when you do your debugging, you can see the what is happening in the DOM, what is happening in the network log, and they also you can also see through the screenshot there also, right? Built in parallelism. So this is one of the great feature. So this is the feature actually I really love. So Playwright support by default the parallel actually. So in Playwright, all the test cases that you run, it support the parallel mechanism actually. By default, all the test cases, suppose you have 3 browser, you have mentioned in your config file, they will run all the test cases in the parallel actually, right? All in one automation tool. This is the one of the beauty of this tool actually. You in the other traditional tool, you have to install the third party library or other thing, but here you can do UI testing, API testing, you can do mobile device emulation, you can do. When I say mobile device emulation, you can check the responsiveness of your page actually, or in the different devices. Accessibility you can do, visual testing you can do, right? So it eliminates the need of multiple testing. Reliable automation, yeah. This is one of the other feature of the, that is the reason the Playwright is very less flaky. They have a auto wait mechanism for every command. They will perform, they will first, so suppose I have to click on the button first, they will check, okay, the button is available, yes or no. If button is available, now is it clickable or not? When it's clickable, then it will click. So and it happen in millisecond actually. So for everything they have a auto wait mechanism that that actually it happen internally actually. We cannot see it actually. It happen for every command. They have a auto wait mechanism. That is one of the reason there is a less flakiness in the Playwright actually. Device emulation, as I mentioned, you can check your application in the different devices. You can emulate actually, right? Okay, so writing the test with the Playwright. So now let's come to the actually I have already done the so many theoretical. Let's come to the some practical part here. So let me share my Visual Studio. So this is the installation step that I am doing right now. So this is I am here. So I am making one directory here. So I am inside this. So I am just installing the. So here I am doing the installation step for the Playwright. So you can see here what I did. I have created one directory, and inside there I am running this command. So what it will do, it will create the package.json with the dependency and all, and it will install the Playwright. So I will explain the step one by one. So when I click on enter, you can see it will ask so many things to you. First, it say, okay, do you want TypeScript or JavaScript? Right? So you can select according to your choice actually, TypeScript or JavaScript, right? So suppose I say, okay, JavaScript, okay. Where do you want end-to-end test? So by default in Playwright, all the test case created under this test folder, but you can update this folder with some other name actually. I am keeping it as it is. Add a GitHub action that I have mentioned. Playwright is a tool where you have everything available from creating to deploy into the stage or dev or the production environment. They also provide the GitHub action actually, where you can write your all the step to deploy your test case, sorry, to run your test case in the stage or dev or production. I say, okay, yes. Okay, now install Playwright browser. Can you done? When I say yes. So if you see here, now you see here, it will start installing the browser actually. So here you can see downloading the browser actually. It do actually very fast. So it will, what it will do normally, it will install first Chromium, then Firefox, then WebKit. It will install one by one. And these are the sub command. When you can see here, this is the command for execute the test cases. This is for the UI. You want to run your test case in the UI mode, where you will see, okay, in the UI, okay, I enter the value, and you can see in the UI actually. This is the command for if you want to run only in the Chromium browser. This is the command if you want to debug. So these are the command, and this is the code gen and this all. So let me quickly open this project that I have, where I have installed in the VS Code. So till here Playwright installed. So now I am opening this folder. Okay, so this is the folder actually, and you can see here the folder structure. So this is the GitHub action that I mentioned. This file, basically this is a YAML file. I will go one by one. This is the YAML file that help us to deploy, run our code in the stage, dev, or production environment. It depends upon the whatever the configuration you have done here. Okay, and this is the node module. So all the node dependency will install here, Playwright and other thing. This is the test folder. If you remember, I just mentioned test here, right? So this is one of the default test case that come, and these are some other test cases actually. under the test example. So these are just for the reference actually. Suppose you want to take some help, and so this is just for the kind of helping purpose, right? And this is one of the git ignore. It will automatically do whatever the like some of the like test result, it will automatically put into the git ignore, right? And this is package.json. So you can see here I have installed 1.5.1, and this is the node version. And this is package.log.json, where we can see all the dependency in detail actually, right? And finally, this is very important file actually, config file. So I want to just go through this file quickly. So this is the line number 16. You can see test directory test. So where this is the test folder here, where we keep all our test case. If you want to update, you can just update with some other other name. Okay, but at the same time you have to update this folder here. Suppose you want to create a page object model, right, where you have to create your page and classes. You can update accordingly the folder. So I am keeping it as it is right now. Fully parallel true. As I mentioned, Playwright support the fully parallel. So by default, all the test case in Playwright run parallel, right? You can put here false if you do not want to run the test cases in the forbidden only. This is the command. Suppose sometime what happen, I want to execute only one test case. So normally we put dot only, right? So this command, what this command helps, suppose by mistake I put only, and if I push my code into the GitHub and it will start executing, then it will not execute because it unnecessary actually loss of the actual resources, right? Then it will stop immediately and it will say, oh, it will update us actually. There is a one of the test case where we have put the dot only. So he actually they want to correct. You have to correct it. It just from the kind of notification. Okay. Retry line number 22. Retry basically, suppose my test case is continuously failing, so I can put the retry actually. So this is the ternary actually operator. So if and else you can say, so like for the CI mention 2, if my test case running in the CI, I want my test case retry 2 times. Otherwise in local I do not require. Line number 24 worker. This is basically for the parallel test execution. So for local I have mentioned here the undefined. So I can execute as many as in the as many as a worker in my local. Reporter HTML, by default it comes HTML, but in Playwright we support 6 type of reporter: HTML reporter, dot report, line report. There are 3 more. Apart from that, you can integrate the third party reporter also. Like you can integrate Mocha custom report, you can integrate Allure report, you can integrate the Cucumber report also. Tracer view. This is one of the feature actually. So where you suppose this is for actually we want to suppose it help in the debugging. Actually I will showcase you. So when it have a many option actually. If you want to keep like first retry, my test case is fail and I want to check in the tracer view. So on first retry, when I retry first time, then only the tracer view actually, I see the tracer view actually, right? Otherwise it will not log. And apart from there is more option here actually. You can do off, you can do the tracer off, you can on all retry, on first retry. There are so many options here, right? So I keep it as it is on first failure. Okay. This is one of the important thing, line number 37 to 51. So by default, as I mentioned, Playwright support the parallel execution, right? So by default, when I run any of the test cases, it will execute in Chromium, Firefox, and so let me quickly run the one of the test cases that we have. So this is the command actually. If you want to run our test case, playwright test, and let me give, suppose I want only, because I think I have only one test case. So if I have multiple test case, because in the test folder I have example.spec.js, so you can also mention, like, if you have multiple test cases, you can do like that. So right now I am running my test cases in headless mode actually, right? So if I run the test cases, so you can see here it running in the 6 worker and 6 test, because in my file we have only how many test cases we have? We have 2 test cases and we have 3 browsers. So every test case running in parallel actually. For each test, one browser actually, right? So now it running on the WebKit, and finally there will be a report will come. Yeah. So test case is passed. So you can check your report from this command. Yeah, here it is. So you can see here the Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. The test case are running in my all the browser here actually. And here the total time, how much time it will take. You can open, you can see everything here actually, right? So this is the actually this is the HTML report actually, right? So before moving one thing, so I want to just explain this test case here. So because it's very important to explain. So the first line say import test and expect from this package actually. This is the one of the package of the Playwright, right? What I'm importing here, I am importing two things, test and expect. What is test? Test help me to create the test cases, and expect is the kinds of which we use for the assertion. So in other traditional tool for assertion, we have to install the third party actually libraries, right? But the beauty of the Playwright is that expect basically we don't need to install any third party, right? So it will automatically come into this package actually, right? And if I go to this line, this is test, it will take in two parameter. One is the this string, another this is the callback function actually. And this is the and this page is here fixture actually. I can this is actually a long topic actually because fixture is a totally independent actually topic in the basically in the Playwright. But you can understand here like fixture is help us to basically to set up our test cases, to run our test cases. Like I have given here page dot go to, and this command will open the browser. And why we put await here, the reason being is, as I mentioned, basically in Playwright each of the command written the promise actually, right? To make, since the command is written the promise, we have to make our function, this is the arrow function, right? So we have to make it async actually. And if you making it async, it means our to execute every command into the sync in a proper way one by one, I have to put here await actually. I say okay, please wait for this command, then go to the next, then go to the next, right? Because Playwright, the every command is written the promise actually. So that is the reason actually we put the await. And this is the, as I mentioned, this is the this is basically the fixture actually. Okay. Okay, so let's move to the, I think I am here. Just a minute. Yeah, I have explained this, right? So understanding the syntax. Now come to the debugging part actually. So right, so I am not explaining in detail. So yeah, one more thing. If this the test case right now I have run, because here we have only two test cases, right? And you can see here 6 test cases using 6 workers. Because why it 6 test cases? Because I in the config file we have given the 3 browser actually. If you comment these 2 browser, then our test case will run only in the one browser, right? So if I run it again, so let me do one thing. Let me run it again one time. So these are the test cases you can see here running 2 tests in 2 workers. So these are the test cases right now running in the headless mode. I will showcase you now in how we can run into the headed mode also. So you can see here it running in the Chromium browser, and here is the report. And if I open this report again, so you will see my test case will be executed successfully. And yeah, here you can see it. They are running only in the one browser actually, right? And it will taking the 2.21.7 second only, right? Now, if I want to see my test cases in the UI mode, so what I have to do? I have to just put here hyphen UI. So it will open the UI, and where you can see all the test case running in the UI actually, right? This is one of the command basically that help actually if you want to see your test case in the UI mode actually, right? So before coming to this actually, this is the one of the thing actually that I want to explain here. This is the tool. This is the basically you can say Playwright runner. So if I come, I want to spend some time here because it's very important actually from the Playwright perspective. So I will go from the left side. You can see here pass, fail, and skip. You can do your filtration, your test case. So let me do one thing first. So let me first run it. So then I will. So right now, because I have selected only one browser in my config, it was running in the Chromium browser only. So you can see here the test case are running. My internet slow actually, so it's taking bit time. Sorry for that. Okay, so in the left side, you can see, as I mentioned, you suppose you have 100 test cases, you can filter with the pass and fail. This is the one thing. And if you go to the icon, small icon here, this icon basically help us. Suppose I want to keep this UI open, and in the behind I go and I update my test case. I change some line. So what if I have selected this icon here, what, and if I do some changes in the code, it, and just I will put it here, save, it will automatically start running actually, right? This is the icon for that actually, right? And if I go to the if I go to this part here, you can see action. In the action you can see every line actually. In the, whenever I am hovering here, you can see in the right side. Okay, in metadata you can see, okay, how much time the test case will done, in which browser it will run, what was the width of the, it giving the instruction about the viewport actually, width and height of the, right? And is mobile is false, because if I see, yeah, one more thing I want to showcase here you. So if you see in the line number 53 in 54 to here, you can see here the mobile Chrome, mobile Safari. You can, as I mentioned, we can do the device emulation also in the Playwright, right? So if you enable any of this, like I want to check my, I want to check my application in the Pixel 5 in mobile. I can just enable this, and my test case start running on the, basically in the mobile actually. Okay, and this is the metadata I mentioned, and this is the before and after. So these are basically these are the thing basically that help actually in the debugging also. So this, yeah, one more thing here in the, you can see here the icon, one icon here. This will for the pick the locator actually. So if you want to pick the locator, you can do. I will show you in a while. And before and after, basically it help actually. Suppose I have selected this. Suppose I have selected this. What was before and what was after, right? So you can see by clicking on this icon actually. So before, you can see it was unselected, and when I click on after, it will select it actually, right? This is all about this guy. Now go to the bottom. Here you can see, suppose I need a locator, right? Suppose, so this is the one of the good thing in the Playwright actually. Everything is here actually. You don't need to go here and there actually, right? Suppose this test case is failed, right? And I know, okay, this test case is failed because of this API locator was different actually. So what I can do, quickly check here. I click on this icon. I click here in this API, and you will see locator will automatically come here, and I just copy and paste, and I put it in my code and start running it. So you don't need to go inspect, install any third party tool for the locator. Everything they are providing here actually, right? So this is the good thing, one of the things. This is the locator actually. Source, you can see what you can see source code here, detail. You don't need to go into the your code, right? I mean, you don't need to go to the Visual Studio. You can see here actually, okay, this line is running, this line is running like that. Call, in the network call, you can see, sorry, call is basically about the command, like I have selected here the get role. So it will be giving, okay, this locator is use expression to be visible, is not for, there are some parameter received visible, because as I mentioned, I will come to this point. Actually, get by role, or these are the inbuilt locator actually of the Playwright actually, right? So, and log, you can see if there is any log data come here. If the my test case fail, error will come here. Console is here, network is here, everything. If you want to see, okay, what is happening in my application in the network, you want to check the request and response, you can see here. Attachment, because as I mentioned, Playwright support the visual testing also, right? So if you do the visual testing and suppose your test case is fail or something, you can find the here actually attachment. Annotation, I will come to this part quickly in a while. So let me do one more thing. So let me run one test case here. That is actually
Kailash, just a quick time check. So
yeah,
we have 17
15
minutes
minutes.
left.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
let's make sure we leave some time for questions, okay?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I will try to complete as soon as yeah. Yeah. So this is one of the example actually. Let me show you. So let me run it. Okay, let me run this test case here. Yeah, in the meantime, test case running, I will come to the my slide actually. Let me, these are the debugging the technique that I just tell you. And apart from that, you can also put the debugger in the command also, like npx playwright test hyphen debug. I will just showcase in a while. Okay. One another thing that, yeah, here you can see actually, right? So attachment network actually here, right? So what is before and after, right? And you can see, suppose let me do one thing actually. Let me fail this test case. Suppose let me fail this test case and let me run it again. So you will see the error here itself. You don't need to go. So I mean to say this basically UI not only for seeing the test case running, this is also helping us basically in the debugging also actually. Because I have updated the I mean I have updated the some wrong title, so it will going to be failed. So just a minute, give me, just cooperate with me, for. Okay, in the meantime, it's running. So I will come to the best practice of the Playwright. So Playwright have an inbuilt locator. When I say inbuilt locator, normally we do like by ID, by CSS class or something, right? Right. But in the Playwright, they have inbuilt locator like get by role, get by ID. So the best practice is we have to use this inbuilt locator actually. The reason is simple because as I mentioned, they have a auto waiting mechanism actually. When we say okay, click on this button, it will first check the button, then it check okay, button is visible, yes or no. It will do internally actually, we don't know, we don't see it actually, right? Then it say okay, it is visible, then okay, please click on it. So it's do everything one by one, one by one, right? Auto wait mechanism is there, right? So we have to use the inbuilt locator. Playwright assertion actually, like as I mentioned, because they have some playwright in the they have playwright assertion also, like to be visible, to be visible, to be disabled or something like that, like, right, normally that we have in other tool also. So they have we have to use actually what we have to try basically the like this type of assertion, like to be visible. Before clicking on this, I can check okay, to be visible or not, to be clickable or not, something like that. The benefit is that basically, as I mentioned, they for every command they have some auto wait mechanism. So if I have put to be visible, then it will wait for the visibility check actually, right? So keep test independently. So we have to keep our test independently. So for to keep the test so that they not interfere to each other, we can do some of the thing in the before each actually. So they have hooks actually, like in other tool, before, after each. Same way they have Playwright also have the hook actually hooks concept here. So repeating step we can keep our in the before each block. Chaining and filtering. So this is one of the thing in Playwright actually. So we have to use actually chaining and filtering mechanism. Suppose I want to click on the suppose product 2, or I want to do some activity on the product 2. So we can use the filter or some like that actually, right? Code gen. I'm just coming on this point. It's a kind of record, and we can record our step in code gen. That this is one of the feature of the Playwright. I'm coming in a while. Do API automation first. So if because as I mentioned, Playwright also support the API automation. So if possible, we can do the API automation, because simple reason limitation of the UI automation, because highly more robust and effective testing. So UI typically take longer to run compared to the API. So for the low maintenance cost, faster feedback, reliability, easily detection of the, because if you do the API automation in the advance, then we can detect some of the good work in the advance, right? We do not need to rely on the much depend on the UI actually, right? More feature of the Playwright. So they have, as I mentioned, annotation is there in the Playwright. Like you can skip your test cases. You can mark your test case fail. What the benefit of it? That's basically marking the test. Playwright will run this test and ensure it does include the indent the fail actually, right? If test does not fail, Playwright will complain actually. So in some of the cases we want the test case should fail, we can use it. Fix me, you can put, suppose you have 100 of test cases, you say okay, this test case I have to fix, so you can put test.fix. So in that case, Playwright will not run this test case. Similarly, test.slow, you have suppose thousand of test cases and you say okay, my 50 test cases are very slow, taking time, you can put slow. When you put slow, it will automatically give some inbuilt timeout actually. It will give some extra time actually internally that we cannot see actually, right? So mark the test slow, triple the test timeout. So in that case, basically timeout it automatically increase. So this is the internal functionality of the Playwright actually. So yeah, filter visibility, this is another feature. Copy as a prompt, this is recently they have launched. So if your test case is failed, so in the report it will come as a like copy as a prompt, and you can just copy it and you can paste in any of the LLM, either ChatGPT or some. It will automatically tell you okay, this is the reason of failing of your test cases actually, right? So let me quickly go to that code gen part. Right, so here you can see our one of the test cases fail, and you can see error also. And here I am just explaining copy prompt, right? If you just copy this, and if you just suppose I open chat gpt or something and I put this instruction here, so it will automatically correct my test case. So this is the benefit of the copy. They have just launched few days back actually, this feature actually, right? Just a minute.
Hey, Kailash, we literally have 5 minutes for questions left.
Yeah, I will take 5 minutes more. Okay.
So, folks, can you post your questions if you have any in chat so
I
we
can
get
I
ready?
I can stay 5 minutes extra. No worry. No worry.
Yeah, I think Kailash, many people have to leave at right
Oh,
10.
okay,
So
Yeah.
okay,
we want people to have their time to ask questions. I think
okay,
that's
okay,
very
okay,
important. But
okay,
we
okay,
really are
okay,
enjoying your demo. So
okay, okay.
uh,
So you can see here copy prompt. So it will automatically say, okay, you have given some wrong title here. So copy prompt feature is very actually good, one of the good feature of this Playwright actually, right? So you can just copy it here and you can correct your test cases. One last point that I will go. Let me show you the code gen one. This is one of the feature of the Playwright, unique feature. So where you can record your step. So let's suppose I say npm Playwright code gen and I open this site. What it will do? It will open this site and you can record your step. Suppose you are the beginner in the Playwright, you can take the leverage of this code gen feature. So this is my last topic. It will take 1 minute. Okay, it has open Playwright inspector, and it will open the, just a minute. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, here you can see. So we have couple of option here, right? So whatever the command you enter here, it will start automatically. I mean, suppose I enter here standard underscore user. I will not go much in detail. So you can see here, it can record all the command, and you can just copy all these this code completely, and you can run it. And one of the good thing about this, you can convert this in any of the language. Like right now it is in JavaScript. You can convert into Python. You can convert into .NET, right? And apart from that, there is some another. You can see in the top these are some of the icon here. So these are for the basically to put the assertion, like asset visibility. You want to put the assertion in your test case. So Playwright code gen automatically actually support this feature actually. So you can just put, suppose I want to check this text, I want to check this text, suppose. So I will select and I will click on this, and I will click on this green icon. So you can see assertion will automatically here come, right? So this is the one of the beauty about it. Okay, so that's all from my side, please. Thanks for your cooperation. Thanks for your support.
All right, folks. Let's take some questions from chat.
Sure.
What is the best way to handle authentication in Playwright?
Authentication, yeah, we can do the authentication because it actually like in the Cypress we have a cross origin facility there, but here in the Playwright it support the authentication itself actually, right? You don't need to, like in the other tool actually we have to do some extra thing actually, but here actually you can do authentication very easily actually, right? By simply actually giving the command or whatever the you want to actually, where you want to log in actually, right?
Okay. Does anyone want to ask questions live? Just unmute yourself and go ahead and ask.
Hi, Kailash. Hi, Tatiana.
Mhm.
Rashmi here. I
Mhm.
have a question like if I have 20 test cases, for each of the test cases, I need to log in before performing any action. So how would
Mhm.
I do that for
Okay,
logging
you
in?
have to you have to log in for every test case, right?
Yeah,
So what you can do in that case, you can keep your login authentication part. I mean, where you enter username, your password, and clicking on. You can keep in before each block, right? And in after each block, what you can do, you can close actually. You can put the close. So what happen for first test, it will enter username, password. It will do whatever the performance you want. Then it, close the browser. Then it will again run before you have given username. Suppose you want to authenticate with 10 different users, right? So what you can do, you can keep your test data in the JSON file, and you can call it into the before each. And I log in with the first user. I enter username, password, and click on login. Then I perform whatever I want to do with my test. I want to click somewhere, and then I want to submit some form. After doing that, in after each, you can say, okay, please close the browser. Then it will do. Then it for the second user, it will follow the same step. Third, fourth, sixth. This way actually you can do.
okay. But I have a question here. Like if I have 10 spec files, so if you, as you mentioned, like if I mention the login authentication in the before each, so I would be repeating the authentication steps in each of the spec files in the before each, right? So is there a way like I can keep it in a fixture where I store the cookies somewhere and then use it
Yeah,
in all
yes,
the
yes,
tests?
yes, 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 yes. You can store the cookie. You don't need to log in every time actually, right? So I thought actually your use case is different, but this is the use case actually. Then what you can do, you can keep your all the username and instruction basically in the session and cookies actually, and you don't need to log in again and again, like logged out, and it will automatically actually logged in actually.
Yeah,
Okay, so there needs to be a utility to do that. Like I need to configure that.
Yes. Yeah, you have to basically, first of all, you have to do some setting, like where in the you have to, like, there is a command for the, I do not recall right now, but there is a mechanism I can share with you, one of the
Sure.
I mean document. Okay, you just ping me in the LinkedIn, where you have to you have keep save your data in the cookies, and you then don't need to worry about, like, I have to come again logged out, and
Yeah.
you can keep
So
it.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I, I
Thank
will
you
I
so
will
much.
say I will share with you the one document. Just ping me in the LinkedIn. I
Yeah,
will
yeah,
share.
sure. And also with Google authentication, like many application needs Google login, right? You log
Right,
in
right.
using Google account. So how to do that also, I'm looking
I
for
will. I will.
resources. It
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be
You can just put your. We can do Google authentication here because it support the tabbing functionality, very like in the other two, like Cypress. We have some challenge. We can do in Cypress also, but there is some challenge. But here we can do easily. I can share with you one of
Thank you
the.
so much. Thank you.
Okay, you can just ping me in the LinkedIn. I will share you the one document
Yeah.
regarding. Okay.
All right, folks. So we have only a few minutes left here. We might be able to take one more question, but I just wanted to remind everyone, please join our future events, the March 20 meetup and the conference. I put the link in comments. Join the LinkedIn page because we're going to be posting recordings there, so you can go back and watch those recordings. We also have a YouTube channel. I'll post it on LinkedIn page as well. So please stay in touch and join us. Let's take one last question if anyone has it online, or we'll take it from chat. Anyone wants to speak up? There is a
So this is my LinkedIn account. In case anyone have any question, you can just share
Yeah,
here.
I'll go with the last question,
Yeah,
Kailash.
please.
So
Yeah.
really, I think we really loved it. It's very hard to, jam pack everything into like 15 minutes. Like it's a huge topic,
Yeah.
taking up the market. So my question is very simple. Like I did ask in chat. So, when you set up the Playwright, it says, do you want to select TypeScript, JavaScript, which definitely works well because it's a Node.js platform-based
Yeah.
tool. But have you yourself done automation
In Java.
in Java, and
Yeah. I have done.
and why do you think Playwright doesn't show us the Java setup when we do the setup?
Actually, the reason behind that, actually, for the Java, we have to do some extra configuration, right? We have the POM and all everything, right? So totally, and the framework that you see in the basically the Playwright by default framework that it come, actually, it totally actually they have made as per their JavaScript and TypeScript, actually. If you see all the file.js or TS or something like that, right? But when you do with the Java or with the Python, even for the Python, you have to test PyTest, you have to PyTest. For the .NET, you have to do different configuration, right? But most of the command, not all, but most of the command will run. I have many block on in Java also, so we can do with the Java. But you answer to your question why it come with the JavaScript, because it's a Java JS based framework, so they support like JS and TypeScript by default. But yes, we can do with Java, we can do with Python, we can do with the C# actually. So because we have to do some extra configuration for those actually. So that is the reason actually they not put here actually, because if you see, if you put Java and Python and everything here, then how my framework and how my folder structure will look, because for Java totally folder structure totally different actually, for JavaScript and Python totally different actually. So that I think actually that might be the reason actually. So it's a good question
No
actually.
worries, no worries. Thank you very much. Look forward to your material and what you have to share with the
Yeah.
community. Yeah, over to you, Tatiana.
All right, folks, this is the end. I want to be mindful of everyone's time. If you have any more questions, please reach out to Kailash on LinkedIn. Please connect. I'm looking forward to see all of you guys in our future meetups on March 20. There's a hybrid meetup. Please join us. And I'll see you next time. This is all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.